Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you in Audi Academy. And I am Dr. Sohab. The course title which I am going to narrate to you today is about our climate. Is our climate headed for a mathematical tipping point? Duration of this course will be approximately 5 to 7 minutes. Level of this course, easy to understand and human focused. Audience, everyone. No math or science background needed. So let's start. We'll discuss all heading by heading. So first heading is, what is a tipping point? Let's start with something very simple, which you can understand very easily. Have you ever tried balancing a chair on two legs? Okay. At first it'll feel stable, right? But then just with a teeny tiny push, you can make it fall over completely. That moment, when the chair tips, that's a tipping point. In nature and climate, a tipping point is like that. It's a moment when a small change leads to a big one, often unstoppable shift. Let's go to our heading number 2. How does math help us understand this? We use math models to predict how things might change in the future. They are like weather forecasts, but for years or even centuries ahead. For example, if we keep on adding more carbon dioxide into the air, what will happen? Any clues? And another example, if glaciers melt faster, will sea levels rise slowly or suddenly flood cities? Well, math helps us see patterns like how one small problem can grow into a big disaster if we don't act early. Think of it like this. One person smoking may not affect others, but if millions of people are smoking together, what will be of the hospitals? They'll get overcrowded. What's going to be about the healthcare system? What about the healthcare cost? It will go up. And the whole system will change. Along with that, it will destroy your health completely. So same as with Earth and Earth's health. With this, we head to the heading number 3. Real examples of climate tipping points. So let's take a look at some real life examples to understand the whole situation. For example, the Arctic ice melting. Arctic is our North Pole. So every summer, Arctic ice is shrinking a little bit further. But now, its melting is so fast that soon there might be none left in summer. Alarmed? Well, so am I. But why does that matter? Number 1, ice reflects sunlight and it means less ice is equal to more heat absorbed by the ocean. Number 2, more heat is equal to more melting is equal to less ice. And then it becomes a whole loop and very hard to stop. And this is called a feedback loop, and math helps us track how fast it's speeding up. Let's take a look at the Amazon rainforest, which is drying out. The Amazon breathes. It is called the lungs of Earth. It gives out water vapor that makes rain, but because of deforestation and warming, parts of it are turning into dry land, which is worrisome. If too much dries out, it could become a savanna, like grassland, which stores very less carbon. Again, a small chain leads to a big flip. And math shows us when that flip might happen, right? Understandable? Okay. What about the ocean currents? How ocean currents are slowing down? Ocean currents like the Gulf Stream help control the world's weather. New data suggested that there is a slowing process going on. If they stop or change direction, guess what will happen? Europe will get very cold and it will get colder winters, and Africa could get droughts. And we are seeing many examples in our times, aren't we? So math can predict this all. Math tells us how close we are to that breaking point. And this brings us to our fourth heading. So are we close to a climate tipping point? Well, scientists use thresholds, numbers that act like red lines. For example, if global warming hits 1.5 degrees Celsius, certain systems may tip. Now, carbon dioxide is a chemical compound that we know with the chemical formula CO2. So if the CO2 level go above 450 ppm, meaning the acronym ppm, which is typically known as parts per million, it's actually a unit of measurement used to express very low concentration of a substance within a larger mixture or solution. So if that very ppm go above 450, it might trigger unstoppable changes. Right now, we're already at about 1.2 degrees Celsius of warming and over 420 ppm of CO2. So this brings us to a valid question, which is the next question: are we near the edge? Maybe, but here's the good news. We still have time. Maths doesn't just warn us, it also shows solutions, right? So solutions are renewable energy, reforestation, electric vehicles, and many other small and big initiatives to save ocean and also Earth climate. These all move us away from the tipping point. And this brings us to heading number 5, which is, what can we do? You don't need to be a scientist or a politician to make a difference, my dear ones. Here is how you can help. Number 1, you can use public transport or bike instead of driving, and doing so could lead to less pollution in the climate, in air. Number 2, if you can, then perhaps eat less meat. Farming cows release a lot of greenhouse gases. Number 3, support clean energy in your home or even in your communities. And number 4, and most important, talk to friends and family about climate change. And you know what, my dear friends? Small actions multiplied by millions of people can avoid a tipping point, right? So this brings us to the heading number 6 of today's podcast, and about my final thought. So I would like to say that climate change isn't just a scientific problem, I feel so. It's a human challenge for all of us. And math is our flashlight in this darkness, which is helping us see where the danger lies and how can we avoid it, how can we prevent it, and that too in the given time before it's too late. So let's listen to what the numbers are telling us before it's too late. And here is a key takeaway for you before I end this podcast. A climate tipping point is like falling off a chair, dear ones. Once it starts, it's hard to stop. But with math, we can see it coming and still choose to step back. So, do tell me, would you like a quiz or activity to go with this course? Then we'll make it available in some other next session. Until then, take a lot of care of you and all around you, and don't forget to take care of our dear planet Earth. You were listening to the course, the title of which is our climate headed for a mathematical tipping point? And this is presented by Audio Academy, and I am Doc Soha, your coach, your host, and your mentor. Until next time, be happy and stay healthy. Plus safe.